And then right away, she starts bawling. She said, "Thank you. You are the first doctor that actually listened to me." And as a matter of fact, all I did is hug and we both cried and it was awesome. And all she said at that point was, "We're going to do this and I'm going to help you take this to every mom that we possibly can because they need to know chiropractic like you do chiropractic."
Hey, and welcome to the Dominate Healthcare Podcast. Of course, we keep saying you cannot just participate because what's out there is insidious, it's demonic, it's evil, it's destroying people's lives. So you can't just participate. You've absolutely got to dominate. I'm here with an amazing friend, client, just supernatural, pediatric adjusting, family saving dude, Dr. Todd. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Wow, that's a great introduction, Dr. Ben. Thank you so much. I want to take 1 minute right now to just say I am so grateful and honored that you asked me to chat with you today. Hopefully we can encourage and impact a lot of docs because as you said, it is a crazy upside down. We talk about this a lot. And now more than ever, we need to be the principal guys that are going to change our children for the world. So, and this gentleman right here, Docs, I have to say is a game changer. 20 years outside mentor, but within the last few years, a friend, a mentor, and this gentleman walks the talk. So he doesn't have to do this, and he does this on mission for us to change the world. So that said, thank you. I'm excited to get started.
I don't normally get introduced on the podcast. I really appreciate that. Thanks.
It's well deserved, and it has to be done. So we appreciate you. We love you. So
thank you. Well, I love you too, and I really love your mission because I came from a time back. The guys were teaching me. They were one step away from BJ. So BJ taught them. They taught me, and it was all about taking care of kids. Really, I live near Disney. And they built Disney for children, and now it's the number 2 most recognizable brand in the world, because kids bring the whole family. So I went to school, and the idea was get kids adjusted. In fact, I've said to patients for years and years that as an adult, you'll never truly reach your God-given potential because you've been subluxated all your life. So what this is really for is your children, because they have a chance to fulfill their destiny and be everything that God intended them to be at birth. And for my own kids, I know, Dr. Todd, for your kids, you couldn't imagine going a week and you hadn't checked their spines. When my kids go to school, we immediately find a local chiropractor. So you can't imagine it. If I had $40 left to my name and you charge $40 for your adjustment and I'm there, I don't go, well, adjust me, let the kid stay at home to die. We get the kid adjusted. But somehow, some way, very few chiropractors, hardly at all, adjust children, but yet you've continued to plow the way. You've continued to not only take care of hundreds of families yourself, but you're teaching others to do it. So first of all, why? So why are you still so passionate about families?
So thank you. So it's been 25 years this year in chiropractic. And as you said, I grew up that we would just go to the chiropractor. I was 8-10 years old. My parents were like, all right, we're going to the chiropractor. It's just what we did because health started with the children going to get adjusted at the chiropractor. And then I ended up at a chiropractic college that by the time I graduated, my head was spinning. I was saying, wow, I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. I don't know what really chiropractic means. Everything got spun around. So, I kind of got back to my roots and did some different mentors and coaching. And obviously I listened to you throughout all the years, back to the cassette tapes. So in practice for, 10, 15 years, raising my 3 children, as you know, with my beautiful wife, Lauren, of 30 years now. And I got complacent about 7-8 years ago in practice. I became very complacent. I'm like, my practice is doing well. The family's great. The kids are doing great. And then about 7 years ago, a young woman walks in with a child. Her name was Janaea. Unfortunately, a vaccine injured Corbin, nonverbal. So I had my consultation with her in the evening, along with a few other moms. And she came into my examination and we sat down. I did my thing. We used the technology, the insight technology. I'm examining her and she's looking at this and she's listening to me. And I said, I got done and I said, I looked at Corbin in the eye and I got down and I said, Corbin, I'm excited to help you. I said, Janaea, we're going to make some change here. Corbin is going to do great. I said, and I said to Janaea, I said, it is such an honor you brought him in. I'm going to go along with you on this ride. We're going to make some amazing changes. I know God has a plan, and you always can come to me with questions and concerns. And then right away, she starts bawling. She starts bawling. And I gave her a hug and she said, thank you. You are the first doctor that actually listened to me. And now I understand it is so much more than back and neck. And I know we're going to do this. And as a matter of fact, all I did is hug and we both cried and it was awesome. And all she said at that point was, we're going to do this. And I'm going to help you take this to every mom that we possibly can because they need to know chiropractic like you do chiropractic. And so from that moment on, we formed what we term Chiro Kids, which is hopefully a tool I'm going to use to help some docs moving forward. But the brand in our community is, hey, we're the clinic, we're the office that you bring your children to, or have questions about pediatric health. That's where you go in my community. You come to us first. And that's kind of where it's that shift, the Chiro Kids and Janaea started. And backstory, the most important thing is Corbin started speaking in sentences within 2 years of our care, or 2 months,
Wow.
not 2 years, 2 months. So
Yeah,
that was a
of
turning
course,
point.
we're at a time where most chiropractors will post on Facebook to not get vaccinated or they're anti-vax somehow, or
Yeah.
something about nutrition or chiropractic for children. It's just not happening in the clinics. And I don't think Facebook's going to get the job done. I don't think
No.
Instagram or Snapchat or whatever else you're
Nope.
using is going to get the job done. Got to be reaching families in the clinic. I mean, my commitment was and always has been that if you came in for you, we mentioned bringing the kids in and they'll say, well, let me get started first. We've always said, well, let's get the kids started first.
Yes.
We'll do you later because
Mm-hmm.
it's for kids. And
Yes.
that brought me to, people talk a lot about my 2,000 a week clinic. What not a lot of people understand is 1,000 of that 2,000 per week were children. And
Awesome.
in our clinic, I'm sure this happens to you a lot. The first ones in are often the kids.
Yes.
To this day, I still see patients quite a bit every week. And the higher percentage of that group are children. They're
Yes.
not actually adults because that's the commitment. And like
Yep.
we know from Disney, the adults will come, but focus
Mm-hmm.
on who this is about. So, as we get into the what, of all of this,
Mm-hmm.
so what is it that you're doing? So obviously the shift in process and procedure has had a lot to do with why suddenly the kids got left out in the cold here and left to be subluxated and grow up like their parents.
Yep.
So what is it that you're doing that's continuing to bring the kids in, getting them started?
So primarily, I focus so much on moms. I mean, moms, as you know, moms are going to walk through fire for their children. They will do whatever they need to do. They are warriors. So I have a lot of programs in place in my community inside the office where moms are the first to be educated, the first to be, I open up, we do podcasts in my office virtually. We do inside the community. We go to every church. We do every mom's groups. There's so many different things that I've created in my community that drive moms to understand exactly what we do and value what we do. And like you said, the children are coming in first with mom and they're getting their care started. And obviously, and I'm okay with this. The last one is his dad that's sitting out there going, oh, maybe I should try this stuff. And I'm okay. That's okay. I said, we're good with getting the kids all under care. And, but yeah, so I've created a lot of different, as a matter of fact, coming up in 2024, I put together kind of the biggies that have worked for me over 20 plus years, where like you're saying, I see a couple hundred children a week by myself. So I put together some things that I hope will help chiropractors to reach mom, communicate with mom, understand and validate all the craziness that's going on, but be there to support them. That's the most important thing. With Janaea 7 years ago, all I did is say, we can do this, and hug and have conversation and really be human. It's not that hard. Moms want that. They know that you have their back, truly, that you're vested in them and their children, and you want to see them do better. It's not very difficult. It's building relationship, and everything will take off from there.
Yeah, and obviously going to the clinic when it's packed with families and kids running
Oh
around,
yeah.
how could you ever burn out or not love being a chiropractor? Another saying I've always had is that if you don't start your kid, then you either A, know nothing about chiropractic, or
Mm-hmm.
B, you hate your kids. So it's got to be one or the other. And because how could you, knowing anything? I mean, we have this whole explanation we all have as you come
Yeah.
in, everybody's got their
Yeah.
exams and reports and scripts and way of communicating. So if any
Mm-hmm.
of that got through at all, you'd want the kids to get adjusted. And there's a problem that we know in psychology that if you actually allow them to get started without getting the kids adjusted, there's something called cognitive dissonance where
Mm-hmm.
you have to justify your decision. The brain has to justify that, or you go mad or become depressed
Mm-hmm.
or just just don't know what's wrong with you as you can't get out of bed in the morning. So you have to eventually downgrade chiropractic. So people don't realize as they're coming in without the families, their brain has to rectify this and downgrade the value of the adjustment. So
Mm-hmm.
as we get into the how are you explaining chiropractic to these moms? So it's kind of where the rubber meets the road. If they get it,
Exactly.
they're going to
Yes.
get the kids started.
Yes. So that's super important. That is my focus. My focus is building relationships and communicating with mom, and having my beautiful wife, who you met a couple years ago at Christ Center Chiropractic. She absolutely loves you, and rightly so. She says to me, "Have you talked to Ben lately? Have you talked to Ben lately?" But and she said to me, she said back in seminar a couple Christ Center Chiropractic a couple years ago, and this sticks in my head, and I'm going to get to my point in a second. You looked at my wife Lauren and you said, that right there is your best advantage, or something to that effect. You said that's and I went through a dark time, honestly, through COVID, and we all had this emotional, like, negative stuff going on. And so Lauren said to me, she said, you know what, you need to get back in your lane, follow your passion. Your passion is children, and we need to develop this communication, this relationship, so that you can follow your principle, really follow your above down inside out principles. We got reconnected. We were lukewarm spiritual. We reconnected about a year ago, with the Lord, and we really got centered again. And that allowed me to express selflessly to moms, and express how much of a benefit real chiropractic can be for their children. So it is a relationship style that is not difficult. It's really an inside out, like what we should be practicing, right? Above, down, inside out. It's an inside out job when you truly care about mom and their child, and you're sending them a text, and you're saying, hey, what can I do for you? Are you doing okay? I haven't seen you in a week or so. These are things that it just should be automatic. So I put together, kind of in my own brain, a way of working when communicating with moms where I connect with them. I want to validate today, that I want to listen to them and validate all the craziness that they're going through. I want to teach them and plant seeds, as you say, along the way. And then I want to lead them into a better way of health for their children. And I want to laugh. Most importantly, I like to laugh. I like to have fun. People come in my practice and I'm flying kids around like airplanes. They're jumping off the toy things, and they go, how
You
the
got
heck?
you got the glasses too.
I have the crazy guy with the glasses, and believe me, in systems and procedures, I'm not here to change anyone's systems and procedures, but I think I can create value by helping chiropractors connect. Connect and build relationships is what I feel like God has gifted me in doing in my practice. And you can ask anyone that's been in my practice. They go, you're gonna high five them, you're gonna hug them. Yeah, because that's what we do. We have fun getting healthy. So I've got steps along the way that I hope can help some chiropractors build that connection, build that relationship. And from there, it's not about getting new patients. I have about a 5,000 PVA. I think people don't leave my practice. So I get, 5 or 10 new patients a month. And they're going, you only see 5 or 10.
But
Yeah,
that's
because,
because it's the family
yeah,
coming in is retention. Like if you want to
yes,
know the secret of retention, it's that simple. Get the whole
it's,
family in, they never stop coming.
it's that simple and it's that fun. And we are actually making an impact. Moms are telling other moms. I never paid for outside advertising in 25 years, because they get it. They want their children to get it, and they want to be better. So it is an amazing, incredibly simple, but so profound once we understand how to build relationship the right way from the inside out. It's just profound. It's
Yeah. So I would love to pull some one-liners from you. Just, so as I'm talking to like a mom, so
yeah,
when we're going over their x-rays, let's say they're the first one in
yeah,
the door, we're
hmm
explaining obviously that the nervous system controls all function and healing and development. So we'll show like a child's x-ray. They've got
hmm
clear subluxation, but
yep,
we'll say to them, do you think they have neck pain? I mean, how many 8-year-olds have neck pain? But what's controlling the entire developmental process of every organ, cell, and tissue in that child's body? That's right. It's the nervous system. And where's the nervous
right,
system? In the x-ray. The
right,
only way to know if your child is developing normally is to do what? Take an x-ray. And so
yep,
that's an example of kind of a one-liner. We tell everybody who's, 20 and above, you're 20, 30, 40, 50 years too late for your first
yep,
adjustment. We start adjusting kids at birth because, again, your nervous system controls all development, all function, all
yep,
healing from birth on. So if you waited till you were 30, really, again, you cannot reach your potential. You've already lost all those years of development. Things have developed poorly. We can maximize it now. We can get you
hmm
as good as you could possibly get, but you already blew it. So don't
yeah,
do that to your kids. Get them in here. So these are
right.
some of the communication tools we use. What,
Yeah.
what are some of the things that you're using that are working?
So I've been blessed since '99 to use the CLA Insight technology along with X-ray. So that I found in numerous charts and Merrick charts and everything, the buttons, the flat. The biggest challenge that I feel a lot of docs have is explaining that global connection. We understand that how does that spine affect the brain and their overall function of neurology, and so I kind of I dumb it down and make it so simple. When we see a scan and an x-ray side by side, mom, it's a disconnect. Your children's brain and body, it's not only a spine and a misalignment of a spine, but it's affecting their brain and their overall health and development. It's a disconnect. So I try to go globally as much as possible. Yes, we have the structural and segmental, but I just start right from day one talking about the impact of the nervous system right from day one. We have moms bringing them from the hospital to get scanned right away 2 days later, because it's about health, development, function, and that's the way God intended it from day one. It's very clean and simple. We need to have a clean nervous system via the spine, and they can express their God-given potential. And there isn't real tricks that it's just, hey mom, we got this. It's in and your child's gonna do wonderful, and we're here for the ride with you. So it's that's what we
Yeah, well,
do.
and obviously, you care, and as we always say, everybody knows. I can't hear what you're saying until I know how much you care, or who you are
Right,
speaks so loudly I
right.
don't hear what you're saying. So who you are speaks volumes.
I
The
just want to interrupt for 1 second. I had someone from a local New York a chiropractic college come in, because they wanted to know how I see hundreds of kids in my practice, and she said, "Wow, I don't think you really even knew what you just said to that, mom. Did you?" I said, I don't really know. And we were walking through my weekly orientation, and I hadn't moved the slide in like 10 minutes. And she's like, "Well, how do you didn't even follow the script?" I said, "Quite honestly, I never had a script, but every mom there signed up all their children, and this is the fun we're going to have next week because they know we get it and we're there for them." And again, it's that inside out. We're here for you. That's all it is. And I have never been a system structure script kind of guy, but they feel it, they know it, and they want to be here. So I don't know if that helped,
Yeah.
but
No, that's, I mean, again, that's because you love people, you love God, and you care about kids and their future. So it makes a huge difference. Well, thanks, man. This was inspirational. Hopefully this
Yeah.
push people over the edge and start seeing kids.
Yes, I hope so.
I encourage people to reach out to Dr. Todd. You've got a lot of tools and programs that other chiropractors can follow to reach more families if they've lost sort of their ability or their desire, or just lost their way and don't know how to get there. And so for everybody watching, remember, you've got to dominate, not just participate. The world needs us now more than ever. We can't get there just liking things and posting things on Facebook. We got to get out there, start putting our hands on kids and teaching the world about chiropractic. Bless you all. And remember who you are.